trade crypto, it's for you. If you've ever exited a trade early, hands up anyone that's done that, please. It's for you. Emotions are the biggest trader's enemy, right? I know this for a fact because I'm Scorpio, and Scorpios are passionate, and they're the worst type of traders. Not having emotions is the biggest advantage to automated trading. Now, for anyone that's in the audience that's actually seen our live trading bots in action on the stand over there today, they'll see that our bots do not have any emotions. So this 20-minute webinar is for you. AI has been around since the 1950s, and every man and his dog is talking AI. Every man and his dog is slapping AI on the back of names of businesses and then seeing share prices going to the roof. We've been doing AI since 2005. So when I wrote the first trading system for Deutsche Bank for foreign exchange trading back in 2000, we were actually using AI then. So over the last 10 to 15 years, there's been vast improvements in how computers and data work. Now we have a data farm, and originally we set up a data farm on a farm with an anaerobic digester, with solar panels to generate the electric from manure to actually run the graphics cards to actually then generate the crypto mining machines, mathematical calculations. Now what actually happened there is literally crypto went down, and then we started using the GPUs for actually trading. So how do we actually use it? Well, why AI trading? Well, basically, put simply, humans are too emotional for trading. You guys in this audience, you're up against the best people in the world. You're up against the best systems in the world. 80% of all trading algorithms that run through the likes of Goldman Sachs are done by automated trading systems, right? Our trading systems run on fiber optic in the CME in Chicago. So the execution speeds that we work at are milliseconds. When you're pressing a trade on your phone, you're working in seconds. You've already missed part of the move. When the head of Citadel testified in Congress about how he traded, he cited that most of his trading algorithms were via VWAP. So it's volume weighted average price. Now, why do we use Sierra charts? Put simply, it is the best charting software out there in the world, and we do not want to reinvent the wheel. It's the fastest, it's the most customizable, and it runs off the back of C++. And all the institutions, the likes of Barcap, use Sierra charts. So who am I? I'm Chris Hitchin, I'm a trader, I'm a software developer, and I've been trading now for over 30 years. Right? So I've spent decades in investment banking. I was really, really lucky. Now what I would say is this here. Each and every one of you in this audience is capable of being a successful trader. Now I would probably say, looking at this audience, I'd say 70% of you are not profitable. Trading is extremely hard, right? We have a lower success rate than surgeons. 90% of traders lose 90% of the money within 90 days. That's a statistic of over 560,000 traders surveyed by the Korean government, South Korean government. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, basically, I was given an amazing opportunity at the age of 18. Prior to this, when I was 16, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I had acute peritonitis, and they gave me 2 weeks to live. But I was very, very fortunate that my parents' uncle was the head of the NHS. And they transferred me to Northwick Park Hospital, where I spent 2 years in and out of ICU. I came out on the other side determined to make a difference. Now, when I went to Glencore turned around to me and said, "Hey Chris, sorry, but the job that you've gone for, the previous person's taken. But how would you like to go to Switzerland, and we'll teach you the ropes?" And that's how my journey began. Glencore was an amazing company, and it set me up for life. I worked for 5 years for Glencore, And the first trading system that used AI that we used was that one in Glencore. It absolutely transformed how I look at trading. And I'll tell you this now, when we were trading 2 billion a day on the euros in Deutsche Bank, which was the first automated trading system for Deutsche Bank, it was called ArcFX, it was launched in 2005. We didn't use back patterns, we didn't use golden crosses, and we didn't use moving averages. We used quantitative analysis, and quantitative analysis where we actually learned from what we were doing. So the quantitative analysis became better and better, and the database became bigger and bigger, and that's how we were very profitable. And that's how we were the second most successful foreign exchange trading desk in the world. So moving on from that, I've created Business for Traders, and it's a futures and crypto software trading business. And that is how I started my journey. So what goes into automated trading? Well, there's a lot goes into it, and I'm going to share with you 3 different secrets. And you're more than welcome to delve more into this by joining us on the stand and seeing this all in action. So the first secret to successful day trading is understanding the market movements before they happen. So literally, we have a bot that we call the rotation bot, and that uses fractal analysis to work out what is the average swing within a given symbol. So we know, for instance, on the NQ, the average swing for an average volume day is 78 points. Now, if we move past 78 points, that means we're moving past the average. So this gives us an idea as to when we are potentially going to have an inflection point to actually reverse. So there's a hell of a lot that goes into the rotation bot, but in earnest, that's what we do. We look for the inflection point within the market. Now, the rotation bot is used by all the other bots. We have about 84 different bots that are running real time, and we pass the information to each one. So as an example, the rotation bot passes the information to the anchored VWAP bot, which then automatically anchors from the low of the day and automatically anchors from the high of the day. Does this all automatic, no matter what the symbol, no matter what we're trading, no matter what the time frame is. So imagine knowing that, and like I say, come and see it on the stand to see it in action. A number of people that have come on the stand today have said to me, are you repainting the canvas? Categorically, in fact you asked that. And are you repainting the canvas? No, we don't. It's down to that basically the market repeats itself time and time again. So the next bot that I'm going to talk about is the Delta bot. Now, this is an absolutely critical bot to how we trade. We want to know what is actually happening here and now with the buyers and sellers. You have 4 types of buyers and sellers. You have passive buyers, you have passive sellers, you have aggressive buyers, and you have aggressive sellers. The aggressive sellers and the aggressive buyers move the market. The passive buyers and the passive sellers stop the market. Now, we are interested in where the market's going to stop. So what we do is, with the magic candles that we've got, we predict where the market's going to stop. So this isn't based on support and resistance, this is based on quantitative analysis, based on how much the market would move, based on the volume that we've got, based on the pricing data, based on how much we're hitting the bid or hitting the offer, right? So this is absolutely critical to how we actually trade. And once you see it in action, and I do recommend you come to the stand, it is eye-opening as to how accurate we are at trading. So, you need to create a clear trading plan every day. Now, before we introduced the bots, I used to spend about 3 to 4 hours a day analysing where I thought the market was going to move. The bots now do it in a matter of milliseconds. Doesn't matter whether we're trading Apple, whether we're trading the Dow, whether we're trading ES, the quantitative analysis is all done within a matter of seconds. It maps out key levels within the session where we think it's going to work out. Now we have 6 levels. We have 1B, 1 below, and then we have 3B, obviously that's 3 below, and then 1A above, as an example. Today, on the NQ, live on the stand, it hit 1A and then revert for 30 points. What's 30 points worth? Well, it depends what you trade and the size of contracts that you trade. If you're on a mini, that can be worth $600. Right. Also, what do we need? We need decision bots. Right, so we have a number of decision bots that do analysis to decide whether or not we should be trading. And what I mean by that is basically most traders in the audience will be one of two types. You'll be either mean reversion or you'll be a trend trader. And if you're a trend trader, you get eaten up if it's mean reversion, and if you're mean reversion on a trend day, you get eaten alive. Well, what we do is we analyse the market and we say, right, this is what we predict the market's going to do. Either we predict it's going to be a trend day or we predict it's going to be a mean reversion day. What does that give us? Well, it gives us the key point that we need to know is not to fight the market. How many people have actually fought the market and lost a lot of money? Anyone? I have. I'll tell you that now. So, and the fact is that I think there'd be more hands if everyone would be honest. So then we have the trade managers. The trade managers are very, very key to what we do. The trade managers manage the trade, so they manage the risk. I want one of four outcomes when I trade. I want a small loss, I want a break even, I want a small gain, or I want a big gain. I never, never want a big loss. So that's why I leave it to the trade managers to make the decision to open and close the trades. Now, these trade managers are intelligent bots, and they take all the information, i.e. they take the order flow, and you work out when to enter the market. So if we've got a signal and we've got structure, i.e. for instance we think we're going to mean revert 1B, then the trade bot will make the decision to go into the trade. It won't do it via a limit order, it'll actually do it via VWAP. As an example, we have a number of algorithms, but basically if you take VWAP and then you shorten VWAP as an example, and this is a top tip for you, and this will turn a losing strategy into a winning strategy. I have a 3-minute VWAP, I re-anchor every 3 minutes, then you'll find the fractal rotation of VWAP and the volume of VWAP. Obviously, one deviation on the top, you want to be selling. If you were selling, and one deviation below, you want to be buying. That'll give you and pinpoint you an entry. Every single trade that you do starts as a scalp. No matter whether you're a swing trader and you're looking for 3 months, you have a set defined stop. Obviously, it can be a lot less than what your defined strategy, i.e. your target is. That's why I do not recommend just sticking in the limit order. That's our answer. Now, what does this work on? It works on anything with decent volume. It does not work on penny stocks. We're not interested in trading penny stocks. We're experts in trading the NQ and the ES, right? And you tend to find particular indexes are suited to particular individuals. What I basically mean by that is, for instance, the NQ is more suited to people that like to take more risk, whereas the Russell is more suited and more safer for easier trades. It does also work on crypto, and we do trade the bots on Solana. So let's not just take my word for it. One of my key students is stood over there, that's Daniel. And literally, Daniel saw me trading in David Lloyd on my laptop. And he came to me and said, I've never been profitable in 3 years. And he said, would you teach me what you do? And I said, yeah. And as they say, the rest is history, innit? We've got clients from all walks of the world. We've got clients, institutional clients in Hong Kong. We've also got clients that want to specifically trade our bots on their own trading screens and use their own symbols. We have another client that's sat on the stand, which is Zed. He is the Dow king. He just loves the Dow. And I've traded the Dow with him. And how many points did we get this morning? About 200. Now, depending on how many points you do on a point, on a Dow contract, on a Dow mini, that's $5 a point. What's your margin going to be on that? It's 900. So basically we're talking, we've done 200 points times 5 from a $900 margin. So what do our results look like? Well, depends what you trade, but this is a good example. So literally, we had a buy zone here, 367, and that literally popped up on the ES, and we got over 40 points. 40 points times 50, it's not a bad trade. We publish all of our results into Discord, right? We archive all our results for every one of our bots because we are quants and statisticians. We want to see our results, and we're quite transparent about it. Not every single trade works. There is no strategy that's 100%. But what we do is we have a probability bot that works out the probability of each bot working out. What I basically mean by that is for instance, we have an overnight bot. We know the statistics on that is that it works out 78% of the time, and that we're looking at a potential 1 to 2 risk to reward. We know for a fact that the ATR bot, as an example on the other side of the scale, when that triggers, that's going to give you a potential 5x gain. Do we get that all the time? No. It's more like a 40% win rate. But it's knowing your stats and it's knowing your results. So, imagine having access to all this lot, to the rotation bot, to the delta bot, the day plan bot, at your fingertips. Well, you can do that. All you need to do is come and see us on stand today and have a chat about your personal requirements. Every single person in this audience can have different requirements. Maybe options might suit you because you've got defined risk, right? Futures is not for everyone because obviously you could potentially have undefined risk. And if you can't control your emotions, I would not recommend that. So I do suggest that you come on and see us on the stand. Have we got any questions? Is anyone? Right, I cannot hear you say. Ben, should we just go and find out what this gentleman wants to say? Right. Ben is my eldest son, who is currently at uni, and he is also a trader. Right, that is a very good question, is that? Right, it depends on how much you want to spend. I have people that spend all day on screen share and watch the charts. Personally, I do not recommend that. Right, the Discord server automatically puts the alerts of the signals into the channels. So we have a whole Discord server, and they'll be like, it's a bit like TV channels. So like you have one for the Dow channel, you have one for the ES. So if you're interested in taking the Dow channel signals, then you can automatically get the alerts into that channel, and then you can basically go to the charts and check it. I do not recommend blindly taking a trade off an alert. You need to learn price action, you need to know exactly what it's doing, and you need to be comfortable with what it's actually doing. Any other questions? That's a really good question. This gentleman has said, what's been my best success with the bots? I'm a true believer in jack of all trades and master of none. Me personally, all I trade is the Qs and the NQ. Our success on the Qs and the NQ is unrivaled, and I can stand up and say that. This Tuesday, and you're more than happy to see the video live from screen share that we recorded with a student, we did over an 8x return within less than 30 minutes. So those are the sort of results you can get on options. You're not going to get that sort of return on futures, but on a zero DTE, I have one that's expiring. And just for everyone in the audience, just so you know what a zero DTE is, it's an option that expires today. So if you pay $40 for that contract and it doesn't work out and it doesn't go our way, we lose the 100% of that. We lose the full $40. Now in this instance, we've got some of the contracts at $32 and some of the contracts at $42. And and then we sold them for $332. Right? So basically, that was the return. Do we see that every day? No, we don't. Do we see it every week? Absolutely. We will absolutely have those trades. We have 4 different types of bots. We have the liquidity bot, which is searching for liquidity. That tends to be a very reliable bot. Don't get those trades that often. We may get them once or twice a week. Right? We have the overnight bot. You get a trade every day on that. That's the one that doesn't work out as much. As in, there's not as much movement in that. We also have the fast order flow bot. We monitor all the markets, and if we see high transaction levels in every single market at every single point, within 1 second, right? For instance, we see order flow of 8 million transactions or more, then we detect the order flow, and then we look at the price action, and then we follow that through. Those are some of our most successful options trades, because remember, when we're trading options, we're interested in one thing. We want price to move fast. How do we identify that? Well, we identify that with the Delta bot, because the Delta bot has a proprietary algorithm that works out the efficiency of buyers and sellers. The fact of the matter is, when you're a buyer or a seller, we want to know how efficient you are, i.e., if we're a buyer, are we pushing that price up efficiently, or are we slowing down? I.e., we're having to struck in more contracts to move the price less. Because at that point, we know that we're going to mean revert. Is that good for an option when we're slowing down? No, it's not. Right? Because of the time decay. So the fast order flow bot just looks at fast order flow and says, right, we want to trade. Now, how do we show that in the charts? We have a completely specific chart, a proprietary chart that we've developed, and that's based on time, the candles. So they're not time as in 1 minute candles. Each candle is painted a colour between cold, i.e. blue, and red, i.e. red hot. Red hot means we're moving fast, that means the price is efficiently moving, and if we're yellow, we're in the middle. So if we've got a situation where we get a fast order flow through, and we move, as an example, only say 60 cents on the queues, a 60-cent move within a number of seconds, right, can make a massive difference. So you basically have got to be quick with the fast order flow. Where do we see that happen? Top tip for you, right? If you trade options, if you trade SPY or you trade the queues, remember this time, 8:52, right? That's 8:52 our time. At the moment it's 7:52 because of the clocks. The clocks obviously in the US go back this weekend, so it'll be back to 8:52. 8:52 is when you get high volumes, when you get the institutions putting in their closing orders, and when you see massive order flow. Now, if you take a zero DT at that point, right, the fee to decay is pretty much zero because it's practically expired worthless. And you can see, for instance, a 2 to 8 cent option go from 2 to 8 cents and then rocket to 50 cents within a matter of 4 or 5 minutes. And yes, we do that on Screech Sale Live. And we've got a specific product for that. We call it Zero DTE Fridays, because every single weekly option that we trade becomes a zero DTE, i.e. it's going to expire on that day. So that means we can trade Apple like a zero DTE, Nvidia, Netflix, AMD. Pretty much the basket of stocks that we trade is about 16 stocks. We only trade high liquidity options, but you can see very big gains with very low risk. We always want to find risk. Now, we have 2 bots that protect us on the screen share. One is the range detection bot, and one is the ATR bot. Right, the ATR trailing stop bot works out statistically where we should be with the trailing stop line. It's not just a per se 5-day moving average or anything like that. It's statistically, with the volume we've got, with the fractal rotations we've got, where should we be putting our stops? Where are we potentially going to see an inflection point? We do not want to be in a trade when we're wrong. So that means basically our stops are very tight on the AQ. Our stops are between 8 to 25 points. Now, what's the other bot? And it's another key bot. It's the range detection bot. Every trade starts, when you go into these swings like this, if you get in at the wrong point on the swing, and 9 times out of 10, if you're using a time chart, i.e. candles, and you're not using a volume chart or a Renko chart, that's another top tip. And if you want to know the chart settings for our Renko settings for trading the Qs or trading the SPY, that we've quantitatively analysed over the last 5 years and worked out these are the settings, you're more than welcome to come over and see us on the stand. Right? We need to know where we're going to get in. So what we do is we draw a green box for buying and a red box for selling. Right? And if we're in that zone and we get a signal, i.e. for instance we get a structural signal and we get a fast order flow, then we know we can take that trade. If we get a signal buying but we're at a red point, we do not buy because we know statistically we're going to mean rotate back down and then go up. So we wait. And that is absolutely critical. That is one of our bots that we could not do without. So that's how we trade. So it's quite different to how other people trade at this show, whether it be moving averages, whether it be RSI. We do not have any of that on our screens. But I can categorically tell you this now. When we were trading 2 billion a day, we did not, and this is on Deutsche, we did not have any back patterns, we did not have any golden crosses, we did not have any moving averages. Everything we did was quantitative analysis using Monte Carlo simulation. So we would look to see whether or not, based on the 95th percentile, whether or not a trade would work out. And that's what we're doing over there. Have we got any more questions? I can't hear you. Benj, can you just quick? Benj is going to come across and get your question. I can't actually hear you. Go on. VSA. What is the VSA? What does it actually stand for? Volume. Yeah, we do track volume. We don't call it volume, we call it transactions. So it's time and sales. Basically what we're looking at when we're looking at the delta, if I just go into detail a little bit more about that, we're looking at the time and sales. Now there's tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of transactions in every second. Like I said, when you're looking at all the markets, if we've got a high volume alert, we're looking at 8 million transactions in a second. What are we looking at there? Well, we want to analyse 4 different things. We want to see if we're hitting the bid, right? And we want to see if we're hitting the offer. But more importantly, we want to see the efficiency. So if we're hitting the bid, do we then move down, right? Do we then see orders getting pulled? So we look at the pull stack. So the pull stack, we have a pull stack bot, and what that actually does is effectively analyses are the orders getting pulled. What happens when we've got a sweep, yeah? Basically, the sellers will pull their orders. Now, the less orders we have in front of us, the quicker the price will move. So if we have a pull, what we class as a pull stack flip, right, that we identify from the time and sales based on the order flow and the liquidity, then you'll see a big sweep. So everything we do is volume, right? It is absolutely critical. We could not trade without volume. And I'll tell you now, one reason why I do not trade FX, bear in mind, I worked for Deutsche Bank for 5 years, I developed an FX trading system, is this. The CME publishes every single trade, right? It's an open order book. I have the same advantage as you, as Goldman Sachs, more importantly. I can see exactly what Goldman Sachs is doing, I can identify their orders, I can identify what they're doing. Couldn't I identify that if it's closed book? Well, generally at the moment on the dark pools, which is where, say for instance, Apple transactions are transacted, about 60% is on the dark pool. That means I don't know 60% of what's actually happening. So I do not trade what I do not know. Is the best way of putting it, yeah? I do not trade FX. Yes, we could be profitable in FX, but would we do 10x, 8x like we do on the Qs consistently? Probably not, because I don't have all the information. I have every single transaction for every second for every CME trade. That's whether it's Sawyer, that's whether it's gold, that's whether it's the Dow, everything. Does it make a difference? Absolutely. How do we categorise that? Well, what we do is we categorise them with the magic candles We have a pink candle that is, and you're more than happy to see it. Pink candle is a passive buyer. We have a passive seller, and then we have aggressive candles. Now, what we find is when and we have magic candles. When we have a magic passive buyer, right, that price level will then be defended. And we've shown it time and time again, where basically we look right, and then we look left. We've had a magic candle at that price. But guess what? It's been respected. So we are real-time volume analyzers, basically. Best way of putting it. Price. I'm not interested in price. I'm interested in one thing. Where we're going to get an inflection point, and two things really. Where we're going to move to, and that's what we predict with the box. Any other questions? How many bots? Well, for instance, on ES, we have 84 different bots. What are the key bots? The key bots is the delta. Now, one thing I haven't said about the delta bot is that we have, underneath that, we have a proprietary algorithm bot, which is the pattern finder. The pattern finder has 60 different bots underneath that analyzes different patterns. So, for instance, we're looking at market depth data. Right? I know for a fact on the ES, and this is another top tip, buy yourself market depth data. It's available on Sierra charts on level 2. I know for a fact that when we hit 500 on a particular price level, we generally see a reversion. Yes, what we are doing is this. We have a number of products. The key one that obviously that's available today is people to come on screen share and basically to get alerts to the trading bots and see it in action. Are we going to release the bots to the public? Absolutely yes. Is it going to be before Christmas? Absolutely yes. Yes, so basically we're going to have, and for anyone that is interested in this, we have custom trading screens. So basically Zed has his own custom trading screen. Zed came to me and said, I want to trade the Dow. I'm like, I trade the NQ, I'm not going to put it on the main screen share because it's not what I do. He's like, we really basically do me a Dow screen, so we're doing a custom Dow screen. Right, the custom Dow screen, right, the custom screens start from about 5k once. Depends on what you're putting on there. Are we going to do a build self-own bot service, i.e. you build the bots and you build the strategy, and we do a course? Absolutely. But to be honest, we've been that stacked out with trading and doing the new bots that we've got for our existing clients. That's why we're doing it. Share screen. The share screen, we have 4 trading screens, right? One is the options trading screen, QQQs. So we're automatically identifying when to get out of options, i.e. when they're going to decay. We have the down trading screen, so anyone that comes on with custom trading screen, we also do put it publicly available to enhance the screen share service and to bring the cost down for entry to custom trading screen. If it's a private trading screen, which we do have clients that want private and don't want to see what they're actually doing, the costs are completely different. Because obviously that's for one client. We have the swing trading screen. We have a number of clients that do swing trading that can't put on screen share, and we pick particular stocks, i.e. for instance, Coinbase, Nvidia, AMD, Apple, Netflix, to name a few, and you can come and see that screen on screen share live, and you can see pretty much the bot's taken a whole lot of shorts in the last couple of weeks, and we've done quite well out of it. We also trade MU as well. So, and we do trade other shares longer term as well, but that's completely separate to this talk. Any other questions? Keep them coming. You might as well. Anyone? No other questions? So I do invite you to come to. Go for it. You can add as many as you want. Take it. Yes, this is the first time I've had a stand here. I have taught before. Yeah, it's the first time we've had a stand. We did do a talk before. So we just wanted to get the message out. We're also basically, one of the reasons we want to grow the group is it works very well for us in two things. Every one of you behaves very differently. So by seeing how you trade, that actually helps us to work out how the herd, i.e. trading the market actually works. So basically we keep all the trading data and then we learn from that. Yes, we archive. Every one of our trades is archived. Every one of our signals is archived. So you can see it. So for the liquidity bot, you can see how successful it is. For the ATR bot, you can see how successful it is. And equally, you can see basically what you're up against. Daniel, he's there, right? When he first joined us, right, he's been one of our most successful students, right? And I'll tell you one of the reasons why, and this is my top tip to every one of you, yeah? Daniel didn't spend any money to start on trading. He did not jump in. And what I'd say to you is this, is do not waste your kids' inheritance. Do not risk your money to start with. Learn a strategy, find someone that you like, right, that can help you. Now, whether it's me or whether it's someone else, everyone's strategy is different. Right, Daniel studied my trade archive. He was the only person at the time that took time to bother to trade, to look at the trade archive. He rung me up after 2 weeks of studying these trade archives and he said to me, he said, Chris, I've got it. I know how your strategy works. Right? He said, if you fail, I know trade fails, you fail really quickly. So that means we get out as quickly as possible. And he said, if you are successful, generally it takes me 15 minutes. And I turned around to him and said, absolutely bang on. I said, get yourself a digital timer, stick it on your desk, and set that timer to 15 minutes, and hold that trade for 15 minutes. Daniel, did it transform how you trade? Did. So, that's another top tip. Most people exit too soon. Most people are right in direction, right? Most people just get in a little bit too early. That's why we have the range detection bot. The range detection bot has saved me tens of thousands. Because I am one of these key traders that gets excited and goes, I want to be in this trade. I'm getting bored waiting for this trade. Hence the reason I actually developed the bots. Because time and time again, before we actually develop the bots, I would get in too early and exit too early. But guess what happened? Like everyone else, I did actually lose money. I'll tell you what was an absolute eye-opener. It's very, very different being on the other side. When I was in Deutsche, we had a target of making 0.03% per trade. You heard it right. Every one of you were probably thinking, I want to make 10%, I want to make a risk to reward of 1 to 5. In Deutsche, we just had that very small transaction target on every single trade. So when you come out of that environment and you try and make money as a retail trader, it's almost nigh impossible. It's really, really hard as a retail trader. So it's something that you need to take into account. But you need to set your goals, set your strategy, and be consistent. I have one goal for every person that comes through the door, and that is to become a consistently profitable trader. Right? We're not interested in Lamborghini traders. We're not interested in people that want instant signals. We're interested in helping people become better traders and become consistently profitable traders. Because there's a hell of a lot of traders out there that one day they can make money, and the next they lose it. AI makes a massive difference because obviously from our point of view, we can see the stats. That gives me the confidence. If I see price racing into a level, and we've seen this today, these three gentlemen were there live in front of the screen share when it hit a level and it reversed, right? It raced into the level really fast. So what's happening there? Buyers are getting exhausted, right? They're trying really hard to get past the level, and then the stops get stopped out, so we then get the pop, so we get the look above and fail, and then we see price come straight back down. And that's where we want to be getting in. We do not want to be getting in at a support and resistance level, because we want to be getting in. And once a big institutional trader once said to me, and he was trading about 50 million account, they said, Chris, if I can give you one tip, right, and this is very early on, I'll give you one tip, Chris. Stop entering where you're entering, look at where your stop is, and then make that your entry. And he said, it will transform the way you trade. And it does, because a lot of retail traders just get far too early. you need to be at the extremes and you need to be not a breakout trader. We're not breakout traders. That's why we have the range detection box. Because basically, if we have a breakout situation, we're going to get in here. Where's my risk? Right down here. Because remember, cost basis, what we want to call it, cost basis, or value area, value area high and value area low, which we have a value area for, right? Cost basis is down here. That means I'm risking all down here. So by using the range detection box, which uses the data from the value area and from the volume profile, we know that we should be down here when we're entering buy, and we should be up here when we're entering sell. Now, if it then continues and breaks that support level, great. We've then got a lot bigger trade. And that's how we trade. The range detection box is absolutely critical for what we do. I think I'm going to get kicked off now. Right, thank you folks, thanks for listening, it's been great. And come and see us on the stand. Enjoy that.